Hey everyone, my name is Josh, and this is the Star Wars Toys YouTube channel. And today we're going to unbox a 6-inch Black Series. This is the second sister Inquisitor from Jedi Fallen Order. So let's go check this girl out. Alright everyone, here we are with the second sister Inquisitor from Jedi Fallen Order. And this is a 6-inch Black Series figure. And we're going to unbox this figure today, but before we get that far, I just want to ask you guys, if you're enjoying the videos, if you're enjoying the channel, please subscribe to the channel. We'd love to have your support here, and it helps us grow, it helps us get bigger, and we would just love to have you guys support us. But let's get back to the second sister Inquisitor. And as you can see, she has the logo from the Jedi Fallen Order video game. And just for context, I want to let you guys know I'm filming this video before the Fallen Order video game has been released. So there's still some things we may not know about this character. And I just want to give you guys proper context that the game hasn't been released yet. This is the day after Force Friday. This is the day after this figure's been released. I'm shooting this. So the game has not been released yet. So I won't be able to give out any spoilers for that. So, but if you guys are not familiar with what a Inquisitor is, they appear in the Star Wars Rebels animated TV show. They appear there, and they are also in the comics. And what they are a group of dark side force sensitive agents that help Vader hunt down the rest of the Jedi that survived Order 66. So they were formed shortly after the events of Episode 3, and when you watch Rebels, you'll see that they get all taken out before the events of Episode 4. So they're only in the time frame between Episodes 3 and 4. And so if you are familiar with the TV show Rebels, they have made some other Inquisitor figures, and I've got some quick examples here I'm going to show you guys. So here is one that is the 7th sister Inquisitor. So it's a very similar character. You can see her right here. She's a Sith powered, Jedi is not the right word, but you can see she has the double-bladed lightsaber with the circle on it. And this is a 2-pack you could get that went with the TV show Rebels. I think this came out around 2015, but this is another very similar version of that character. And I actually have the other figure right here. This is what she looks like out of the box. So they have made Inquisitor figures before, and you can see she's got the double-bladed lightsaber, and this one, the mask actually comes off, and you can see the character under there. And so they're basically Jedi hunters. They're like a little hit squad for Vader. And there are male ones. So here's another version of a Inquisitor figure. This is from the Hero Mashers line, but this is the Inquisitor, like their leader of their little group. And his backstory is actually he was a member, one of the temple guards at the Jedi Temple. And then here's another one, like he is the 5th brother Inquisitor. This is another one of the male Inquisitors, and he's from the Hero Mashers line as well. And then finally, I just wanted to show you guys some other examples of Inquisitors, if you're at all curious of what the Inquisitors are. And this is that same character. This is just the Inquisitor. They call him that because he was their leader, I guess. So, but if you want to learn more about them, watch the TV show Rebels, and they touch on them a bit in that show. So let's go ahead and start unboxing the second sister. And if you follow along the Black Series, you know she is number 95. And of course we have the character description here, and I'll go ahead and read that for you guys. Second Sister Inquisitor, a vengeful warrior of the Empire, tasked with tracking down Jedi survivors, the Second Sister Inquisitor is driven by her all-encompassing hatred of the Order. And in that description, they're just basically explaining to you that these guys' job for the Empire was to hunt down any Jedi that survived Order 66, and that's what they do. So let's go ahead and get her out of here. I'm really excited to get my hands on this figure. I'm a fan of the Inquisitors ever since Rebels. I think it's a cool concept. And I'm interested to see what they do with her in this video game. So here she is, and it looks like, I'm going to guess that these are shoulder pads. Maybe we'll see as we get her out of here. And then you can see their lightsabers are very unique. And let's go ahead and just pop this thing out of here. And some fans found this a little bit campy, but if you watch the show when they use these things, sometimes what they do is, the reason this circle is around the handle is because they can hold on to the handle and the blades will rotate, very similar to the way a helicopter rotor rotates, and they will actually fly. So I know some fans thought that was a little cheesy and a little goofy, but it is what it is. You can see them do that in Rebels if you ever watch that show. But it looks like, here, just looking at her lightsaber, the blades do come out, and it's a black handle, silver highlights. You got some red spots on there. It looks like maybe the on-off switch, but there you go. That is the handle with the blades removed, and they are little tiny pegs on the end of there, so you want to be careful with that. Just a word to the wise. All right, let's get her out of here. And she has got a rubber band. We have the solution for that. No problem. Okay, so, whoa. And then the final thing we're going to pop out of here, guys, are these, what I believe are going to be her shoulder pads, her shoulder plate armor. Okay. So, what do we got here? Plate armor, I believe we will find out there are little tabs on it to stick what I'm assuming are going to be her shoulders. Okay, so there's where the holes are. For those, they're on top of her torso there. And then a flexible cape, Imperial emblem on it, both shoulders. Okay, so that's why they took them out. So you can put in the little notches in the top of her shoulders here. You can either, there's little tabs on the cape to install there, or you can put the shoulder plate armor, and I'm probably going to be more of a shoulder plate armor kind of guy myself. But here she is, dark gray outfit. You have a red pinstripe going down the sleeve here. Another red pinstripe going down the pant leg. I was hoping this helmet was going to come off. I was really wanting that. It's a very cool helmet. Got some little metal, I don't know if they're rank insignias or just decorations on her outfit. Very cool. And then this little cape, or I guess skirt, is like flexible plastic, but it is not glued to the figure or molded to the figure. It is loose, but I can already tell you there's no way you're getting it off. So it does have some movement to it. And then she does have some arm gauntlets as well, and it doesn't look like there's anything on what would be her left hand, and on her right hand you do have a little like comm button, maybe. Not totally sure, but there she is. Let's real quickly run through the articulation on this girl. So on the head you have a little bit of up and down, full rotation, and it does feel like it's on a ball joint. So that's cool. Okay, but It's just not as smooth as some of the other characters I've handled lately, but it does have movement. And then going to her arms, you have shoulder up and down, full rotation. And we'll check to see how the shoulder plates interact with her articulation after we put them on. So at her elbow, you should have full rotation and up and down. On her wrist, you should have rotation and up and down on the palm to back of hand. And is it the same on both? No. Okay, so she has on her right hand, and the wrist articulation goes from pinky to thumb. It's a little bit different. And there's not a whole lot of movement, but you can see it does move. And then it does not go the other way. And then just looking at her hand sculpts here, you can see they are slightly different. They've got her with a trigger finger out, which I'm a little bit curious about because she does not have any guns. And you can see the actual palms of her gloves are red, and that's a pretty cool little detail. Okay, moving from there, what do we have? We have wrist or body rotation and a little bit of forward and back, not much. And then going from there, we have leg rotation. You have leg backwards movement, but you're restricted by the skirt. And then you have forward. And again, rotation right here at the top of the leg. You should have knee up and down and ankle up and down and rotation as well. And very good. She seems to be fully articulated. So let's see, before we get into fiddling with these shoulder pads, let's see how she interacts with this cape. And the cape is got like a crimson color on the inside and a glossy black on the outside. White imperial emblems, and you can actually, they stick out a little bit. You can actually feel them. It's not just paint on there. So that is pretty cool. And again, so you have little tabs on the inside. And just to show you guys one more quick time, let's see if we can, her helmet kind of covers them up a little bit. But there's little holes on the top of her shoulder there. And I believe we're going to stick the tabs from the cape in there. And we'll see how well this thing stays on. And, yeah. I'll be honest with you guys, it's a little tricky to get this thing to line up. There we go. Okay, so I'm not really getting it to, on this shoulder here, I'm not really getting it to stick all that well, and you can see it's popping loose. It feels like they're going in the tabs, it just doesn't feel like it holds them all that well. So if you're just having the figure on display, it looks fine, but if you start moving her around a little bit, and working the arms or whatever, you can see they start to pop. It starts to pop off a little bit. So for display, I think it's fine. But if you're someone who's going to handle your figures and maybe put them in dioramas or whatever, this may not be, the cape option may not be for you. So we're going to go ahead and put that to the side and stick these little plates in, and they seem to be symmetrical, so I don't think there's like a left or a right or anything like that. So I'm going to go ahead and see if we can't get these little suckers in here. Okay. It feels kind of like the same thing. They're snapping in there, but it just doesn't feel like they're in there real tight. It feels like they might pop out when you move her arm. Let's see here. Okay. So they're staying in there. They're not really even interacting with her arms, so that's good. They're staying in. You can see it doesn't take much to pop them loose, so not the best accessory interaction, but it does look cool. And I gotta say, I like the way the figure looks with the shoulder pads on over the cape myself. Matches the helmet. Just looks cool. So, alright. So, let's see her interact with this lightsaber. And one of the things I wanted to check is to see if there was any kind of way to attach her lightsaber to her belt or her back or anything like that. I do not see anything like that. So let's see if we can get this thing in here. Her I'm not sure how well it comes across on camera, but her fingers are really curled up into her palm, so it's it really looks like it's gonna be a little tricky to get this thing in here. Trying to stretch them out a little bit, make it a little bit easier. There we go. Okay. So she is holding it, and I'll be honest, I probably stretched her hand a little bit to get it in there, but you can see she is holding the lightsaber. And I would be really impressed if they made this thing rotate. Like in the TV show. There you go. And she's got a tight grip on it. She's not letting it go, but you can see it's a little loose in her hand. So, and again, that may be because I stretched it a little bit. I don't know. But it's just, she's got a really tight, her fingers are really curled into her palm. Really far. Okay. Same thing, you can get it in both hands. It looks good. I'll be honest with you guys, the blades wiggle a little bit on mine. I don't know if you guys can see that, but the bottom blade feels like it's a little bit loose. It looks good in there, and it looks fine. If you're displaying it, you won't have any problem, but if you're gonna interact with this figure or fiddle with it or handle it, you're gonna just be aware of that. And it's the same thing. She's got a better grip on it. It just feels a little bit loose in her hand, but she's not letting go of it. So that is cool. Okay. So I want to give her what I consider the final test for a figure here. Will she stand on her own? And I'd be willing to bet you're not going to have a problem with a Black Series standing. All right. All right, everyone. There she is from the Black Series 6-inch line and the video game Jedi Fallen Order. This is the second sister Inquisitor. And I hope you guys are enjoying the videos. I hope you're liking the figure reviews. And if you are, please subscribe to the channel. We'd love to have your support. And thanks for watching, everyone. I really appreciate it. And we'll talk to you guys later. Bye.